right, let's go, baby. First, let's go vibe with some wing action. But yeah, welcome. Stay rooted, talk story. Got my sis Chelsea coming on. Oh, damn, she's quick. Yeah. So talk story sesh today. We got brought a 808. We talk stories. We brought an 808 next week. Today we got sis Chelsea. And then remember, as always, we get jumping on. Shout out where you stay, where you're tuning in from, just to represent. Yeah, and then we'll do Q&A for myself and Chelsea. Probably 5 minutes before we jump off. So if you guys have any questions, you guys actually there's a little question mark box. Yeah, right there. So just if you have any questions, actually, not shoot the questions whenever. Yeah. So we're gonna jump on. Let me get this live request real quick. But yeah, thank you guys for jumping on. We'll be vibing, dude, for the next 45 to 55 minutes. I'm super stoked. Just want to get to know her journey, her story. Every time. Oh, what's up? Lisa in the house. Dude, I always got to push this thing like freaking 5 times. Here we go. Boom. Yes. Hey.
Hi.
What's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, solid. Just getting all set up and everything. But yeah, thank you for jumping on as always. You know what I'm saying? I've actually been wanting to talk story since we first met in real life back in Long Beach. So yeah, thanks for taking the time, dude.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for inviting me. Sorry, the church next to my house, the bells are going off, but that'll stop soon.
No, minors, it's cool. Yeah, so like I was telling the everyone that jumped on right now, Stay Rooted Kava or Stay Rooted Talk Story Sesh. Basically, it's my way of connecting circles, but also getting to know the people I've met along my journey. You know what I'm saying? As far as Kava, my positive high system. But yeah, just basically just also connecting communities and connecting circles. So you have your community, I have mine, and then we're just gonna, Venn diagram and
Yeah,
connect. You know what I mean?
for
But
sure. For sure.
yeah, I always love having my friends, my guests who jump on. Just give quick, 30, 60 seconds, who you are, where you're from, and basically how you're spreading aloha in the world right now.
Okay, for sure. Okay, I'm Chelsea. I am in Long Beach, California. And I am a content creator. I work independently with like brands and businesses to create content for them while I travel abroad. And I also have actually a passion project that I'm working on that we can discuss later. But yeah, I'm how am I spreading aloha? I think just my positive attitude online, just sharing other people's stories while they travel. I really like to showcase the communities that I try to immerse myself in while I'm traveling, and as well as like staying active in our community. I do that through Halau, and as well as like my friends, like on island,
Yeah, yeah.
as well as
Hell
community
yes.
out here on the continent. But basically, that's me.
Nice. No, yeah, that's solid. Yeah, because yeah, I've actually followed you even like when I was living back in San Francisco. Yeah, so back then, and then backstory is pretty funny when we first met because I saw Tiff at first, and then I was
I
like,
know,
oh
that's
shit,
so
Tiff.
random that you
Yeah,
see
and then
each
later I
other.
was like,
I was
oh
like,
wait, that's Chelsea. It's like, oh shit, they're homies, dude. I fully freaking forgot about that, dude. But yeah, it's legit. The world is pretty small, dude. Like it's a trip.
it is small. I know. I think it's cool that you guys know each other and that we could connect through that. And then we met. We first met at the Mai Tai Fest.
Yep.
Yeah.
My type fest, dude. So that was super solid. But no, yeah. As far as I guess going into your travels and kind of just going into the beginning of your, I guess like social media content creation and like just basically, yeah. How did you first get started into like the social media world? I guess.
Man, it's been like 10 years, but I
Yeah.
got started through Snapchat um like 10 years ago when I was still in college in San Francisco. and I was an art student there, so I majored in art history and French. And when I was in France, I got to travel around a lot just because of the proximity to other countries. I would bounce around a lot and be on Snapchat showcasing my travels. When I got home, I was in school and also did bottle service at Temple nightclub. And
Temple, I
then
forgot about
like
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep, yep.
and because of like the schedule of like doing nightlife, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it gave me a lot of free time to kind of like stack my days and my schedule and be able to travel more. So that's what I did. I started just posting on Snapchat and stuff. I, it's like super random. Um, I took over like Barstool Sports
Oh,
Snapchat.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 10
Yeah.
years ago, and it was like the day that they opened the Snapchat. And so
Yeah.
they were like literally just like, oh, anyone want to take over? And I was like, I'll take over, because I was in Thailand at the time with my family. So then I was on Snapchat just like doing, going to the elephant sanctuaries and like eating bugs and
Yeah.
doing a bunch of cool stuff, like hanging out with monkeys. And I was just Snapchatting the whole thing. And it was like such a hit. They had me like stay on it for a few days.
Sick.
And then it kind of just like snowballed after that. I started taking over other accounts while I would travel, and then like the Snapchat following transcended into an Instagram following, and I've since like got off Snapchat. Like I went cold turkey on Snapchat basically probably back in like 2018 or something. I
Yeah.
don't even know. And just exclusively have been on Instagram. I've dabbled in like Twitch TV and stuff with other friends when we would kind of go through phases of like for 6 months we would be doing like, Twitch streams and stuff, and then we got full-time jobs and it was like not
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was not like possible anymore, but like
Yeah.
that's basically how I started. And then I've just gone through different kind of like versions of myself online as I've grown the last 10 years. And this one now, the version that I am online now, I feel like is the most authentic me.
Nice. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'm just like, Instagram was such a different place even just like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, now I just feel like I'm just out here
No,
living. And
that's solid, dude. It's crazy because like especially social media, it's like I guess like there's like layers, there's people who just use social media just to share their life and stuff, and then like we get into, because for me like Saber de Cava, like I use it as business, but also I share a little like my stories, my personal stuff, but not fully diving in. But it's crazy how I was talking about this like a couple weeks ago, like perception. You know what I'm saying? Like people just have a perception of you, say for example, online. You know what I'm saying? Like they just see you, what you post, stories and everything. But it's like now you're feeling this is your authentic self and all this stuff. But even like your past history, like for example, like people you've known in high school, like, and if you haven't talked to them since high school, they have this thought of you,
I,
of your high school
yeah,
self. You know
I've
what I'm saying?
definitely run into people from
Yeah.
high school and they're like, "Oh, you've done so many things."
Yeah.
Like I've lived so many lives in the last 10 years. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially online, I feel that, especially because there's been so many times where I've like rebranded myself or disappeared for a long
Yeah.
time, or I don't know, just like a bunch of things trying to figure out how to show up authentically
Yep. Yep.
and not compromise like mental health and
Mm.
emotional health here online, because obviously as like a good looking woman, it's like, there's especially having come in when Instagram was all about like posting like bikini photos
Yep.
and doing
Yep.
like hot girl
Yep.
shit, and then
Yep.
realizing that that was like detrimental to my mental health, and then having to like steer away from that and rebuild doing
Yep.
things that I actually like doing, which I was always showcasing the things that I really like doing, but it wasn't like as much of a focus as it is now.
Mm.
So
Yep.
um yeah, now I'm just out here posting my garden and
Yeah. Yeah.
random strangers that I meet when I'm traveling.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Like,
that's crazy because like I think when I first started to actually like constantly try to connect with you as far as like commenting your stories and stuff. It was when you started posting like your food, but also when you went back home, you went back to Hawaii, back to Kauai. You worked at Lo'i. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh shit, and like we're actually gonna go in November. I think I told you this. Yeah, we're gonna go
Man,
back
I
next.
still need to like go through and edit all that content. I was like on the move from like March all the way until mid-July, just like going, country after country, and I still need to like go through all of the content I took in the Lo'i. That was so much fun. I had so much fun. A lot of people were out here like, you volunteering to do that? And like
Yeah,
that's like my vibe. I have this tiny little patio garden here,
yeah,
and I try to grow as much food and herbs as I can, and create like a little sanctuary to attract pollinators and
yeah.
things. But I am all about food sovereignty, and I feel like that is what Kumano Ikeala is doing over in Kauai. They're just like, teaching people about food sovereignty and how to like reconnect with Aina and listen to the land again,
Yep,
and
yep.
live symbiotically with the land again.
It's
So
powerful too. Yeah. Plus, too, it's like back home in Hawaii, like all the food, like just like 99% of the food's imported. You know what I'm saying? Off freaking Matson trucks and or Matson cargo ships and everything like that. And yeah, and like the native Hawaiians lived off the land for freaking thousands of years. You know what I mean? So it's like get back to that as far as like living off the land because yeah, everything's provided. You know what I mean? Especially in Hawaii, like learning about growing up in Hawaii, like Ahupua'a and stuff from mountain to ocean. It's like you you're solid, dude. Freaking fishing, farming. You know what I mean? All the good stuff. But
foraging.
yeah, yep. And then yeah. So for you, did you go just that one day, or what was it like multiple days you're helping out, or
I went for 2 days.
nice?
Um, so that I was there for my cousin's wedding,
Okay.
and then I had, you know, talked to Kaina like months, like a year prior, asking if I could
Yeah.
come out there next time that I was out there, and it just like didn't happen for like a year. I think I go to Oahu a lot,
Okay.
but I feel like usually I go to Kauai for like family stuff.
Yeah.
And that's was the next time I went out there. So that's when we went.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun. I was like, I would be out there every day if I lived out there
Yeah.
for sure.
Guaranteed, dude. Oh yeah. But no, yeah. So I guess you do have island roots and stuff. So were you born in the islands, or do you have was your mom and
No,
dad, or
my mom's family is from Kauai, and they immigrated from the Philippines. I think like 4 generations ago,
okay,
back in like their late 1800s,
okay,
and then they were plantation workers in sugarcane plantation workers. And then my dad's family is from Arkansas, so I'm actually Filipina and Celtic.
okay.
And it's just that our culture is Hawaiian. We
Yep,
don't
yep.
really have, we're like pretty disconnected. Hold on, let me just
Uh,
close this door.
oh no, yeah, yeah. No worries.
We don't really have strong like Filipino uh, culture because I think we're just so far removed from it at this
Yep,
point
yep.
that we just have the Hawaiian culture,
No, yeah.
and
I
yeah,
I fully.
I'm trying to reclaim it though. I'm really trying to like
Mhm.
self-educate and learn and connect with other Filipinos who are doing the same. So
Yeah, yeah. No, like we have pretty much like kind of same story too, because my great grandparents moved from the Philippines to Maui to work on plantation, and then my grandma was born and raised on Maui. My mom guys, and then us. But yeah, same thing. It's like we we like we still say like I'm Filipino, but it's like the actual culture is more like local Hawaiian culture. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
then back in the plantation days, like you had Japanese, Filipinos, Hawaiians, Irish, Portuguese all came together to work plantation. So that's where like the local Hawaiian culture came, especially pigeon. what I'm saying? Like pidgin language and
Yeah,
stuff.
they all
Yep.
just like embrace each
Yep.
other. So,
Yep. So it's but I'm kind of on the same path as you, like the past like couple years as far as uh tapping back into like learning where my family came from with the Philippines and stuff. My dad's from Mexico, so learning more about the indigenous side of where our family was born and raised and stuff.
that's
So
dope.
yeah.
Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, by the way.
Oh, yep, yep,
It's
yep.
the other
Hell yeah,
day,
dude.
but
Yep, yep. But yeah, how has that journey been for you? Because I know you just got marquees done, tattoo,
oh
uh,
yeah, I
traditional.
got some traditional Filipino.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and I infused my dog's ashes, and this is a symbol for a dog here, and I put her on my heartstring
Oh,
so that
sick.
she's connected to my heart.
Yeah.
I feel like dogs just like embody love so much too. It was important for me to put her there. I'm getting the other one done
Hey,
this week,
let's go.
so like I only did one because we only had time for one, and then I had to go to hula, and so and then I was actually glad that like I only did one because I realized my hand was like kind of out of commission for a few days, um, because it was hard to. I was wearing the like second skin. I've never worn second
Oh,
skin before, which
okay.
is
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. For those who are asking, I think I've never posted that like I lost Daphne. It was almost a year ago, so.
Mm.
If any of my followers see that, it might be confusing because I used to post her all the time, and then
Oh,
she kind of,
shoot.
I was just
Okay.
like grieving so hard that it was really hard for me to like post it.
Yeah, because like that's like your child, you know what I'm saying, or like an actual family member, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I also got oh, I don't know if you can see it, but I got the traditional from Tribal Corner,
that's
Kiko.
so.
Yep. So it's I did the freaking tap tap. Oh shoot! Whenever I twist my arm, yeah, right there, bingo.
Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. So I got the traditional tap when I went to San Diego, Holo Fest. Yep.
that's so
So
cool. I
yeah,
want that to be my next one.
yeah,
I want to be, I mean, I think I talked to you about it, but I want to be tattooed by a female. Um,
yeah,
so I'm hoping the next one I get, perhaps on like my spine or something, will be like traditional tapping
yep,
by a
yep.
female.
No, yeah. So spiritual journey. I don't know. I think I sent you some info via DM, but yeah, they're pretty solid as far as being connected in the community and stuff. And like you said, I'm diving more deeper, so like I'm realizing even more like everyone's connected, dude. So
Yeah,
um,
everyone knows each
yeah,
other because it's crazy how like other artists will recognize someone else's work too,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then or you just mention like a first name and then they like know who you're talking
yeah.
about. I think even within like the island community too,
Hmm.
it's pretty small community in terms of like who's doing traditional tap work and even just Polynesian tattoos in general too. But
Yep,
I
yep.
think the within the Filipino community, it's like so like it's so new that people are trying to like reclaim it and keep it alive before it's like actually dead.
Yeah,
That I think that there's only like such a small amount of people that are practicing right now.
yeah. It's and it's crazy. You know, I'm seeing it even more as far as like this, like coming back to your roots as far as like indigenous and like really reclaiming, you know what I'm saying, and like learning more about your history, like from Filipinos, freaking Mexicans, going through like Aztec and all this other stuff, and Polynesians, Hawaiians, and Tongans and everything like that. But yeah, especially like seeing it with the Filipino culture and community. Like I don't know if it's more of like I think it's also like my attention is there, and universe slash algorithm is just giving me more, you know what I mean, but yeah,
100% mine is like my entire Explorer page is just like Filipino and
yeah,
Pacific Island stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, I but I like just go into a rabbit hole because I love seeing it and I love learning, and I think it's cool because like our generation is really out here trying to educate each other,
yep, yep, yep,
um, and pass on things so that it's just not lost, and I really appreciate that. I send things to my like family chat with my aunts and uncles in it all the time, and
Yeah,
it'll always be things that they've never even knew because they're not like connected to our Filipino heritage at
yeah.
all. So I'm like, did you know this? Did you know this? Like, we should be proud of this. Like,
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, it's crazy because like even for me when I was trying to like dive deeper into like learning where our family came from, like you know, my grandma passed away and stuff and like you know, my uncles like their her, you know, brothers and sisters like they passed away too. So it's like the knowledge is freaking kind of lost. So cuz I asked my uncles and aunties and my mom, I was like, "Hey, you know, do you have any information?" And like most of them like, "Oh shoot, I don't know, like try ask, you know, Uncle Alan or whatever." So like, there's only
that's
like,
funny. I got an Uncle
yeah,
Alan too.
yeah,
You got the same uncle?
yeah. I think some people may be related. Wait, is he living on Oahu?
No, he
Okay.
doesn't. But I had like an Uncle Rex who passed away last year, and we had literally just talked to him like 6 months prior about sitting down and asking him to like talk story with some of my great aunts as well
Mm,
because they're in their mid to late 90s.
yeah,
And a couple of like one of them actually lives in Kauai still, and she's just like in the original like
yeah,
plantation housing
yeah,
that like you know my grandmother grew up in, and um just putting around,
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
know, like tending to her orchids and her mango tree, and like we were talking to them about like sitting down and them sharing stories of like old Hawaii during like plantation days, and then he ended up passing away and we didn't get to do that. But it's definitely like I've started to try to accumulate like videos and things of my grandmother
Mm,
talking story and telling us how it used to
yeah,
be,
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
um, because I just need like a video. I need like a video history of it, I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope too. Just like kind of just you know say like for you yourself too, like you know 20 years from now or whatever, like going back, it's like oh shoot, like the archives. You know what I mean? Like just going back and like really listening to the kupuna and like the you know now you know if and you know when they pass away, they're the ancestors now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's actually super heavy, dude, when you think about it. Like we are like the ancestors.
I
You
was
know what I mean? Like
just gonna say
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, is it crazy that we're the ancestor? We're gonna be the ancestors. Yeah. And that's why, you know, it's our kuleana to like to learn these things and so that we can perpetuate it. Because otherwise we'll be the ancestors that it like died out with.
Yeah, 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 100%. Yeah, and then especially for me kind of going back into the thought of like, you know, growing up, you know, local Hawaiian style, you know what I mean? As far as you know, I'm not, you know, native Hawaiian, I'm not Kanaka Maoli, but my grandma's boyfriend, he's basically like my grandpa. That dude was a freaking like Kanak dude. Like he was like I don't know if it was 100%, but I don't know. He was pretty freaking Kanaka Maoli dude, but like growing up and like with him, I kind of like feel like you know Hawaiian at heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
I think we
yep,
do as well.
yep,
Just having been there for multiple generations and like, you know, the roots are strong there. So um, and then it's just like being appreciative of like the of like Hawaiians like accepting us
yep,
like as Filipinos,
yep,
you know, accepting us in the land and in their home and allowing us to like cultivate family, you know, family and culture there, and be a part of the community, I guess.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
I think it just like there's like a deep sense of like gratitude
yep,
to
yep,
have been able to do that, and makes me want to perpetuate the culture so it doesn't die,
yep, 100%, dude. Yeah, it's kind of like
protect it. I feel like I have like a sense of responsibility to protect it because of that.
yep, yep, 100%, dude. Yeah, and then yeah, like you said, like the roots is there. You know what I mean? As far as like you know, like you said, fourth generation. As far as like living in Hawaii and stuff. So it's like yeah, like this is our home, dude. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, but yeah. So were you born and raised in California or
Yeah, I was
okay,
actually born here in Long Beach,
okay,
and I lived in San Francisco for like 7 years for school and came back to Long Beach.
Yeah.
Ended up full circle back to Long Beach. I just needed like a swimmable beach as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Plus, like a lot of my extended family is here. My parents are down here, and yeah, I'm really grateful too, though, because then I could join Halal with like my cousins and my
Nice. Yep.
aunt and stuff, and really just like tap in with them. And I felt like I was lacking that in San Francisco.
Mm.
I wasn't actually like very connected with the community out there
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
all. So now I feel like I am way more so here.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, and then how's that feel kind of like going to San Francisco? Because, what was that, like 10 plus years ago or so? When you're out there, or
I moved back here 3 years ago.
okay.
So I moved out there in like 2015
Okay.
and um was out there for 7 years and then came back 3 years ago.
I
So
see. Yeah,
San
yeah, yeah,
Francisco's
yeah.
cool. I think like when I first got there, it was like very, it was still very like artsy, like Renaissance, bohemian, and like by the time I left, it was very like gentrified tech.
Yeah.
Like the wealth gap was like so big that it was
Yep.
just like oppressive and depressing like to be there.
Yeah.
And somehow I got sucked into like working in tech, and I'm a creative. And then like one day I woke up and I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
had to like quit. I quit my job, and I like, and then was like traveling, or like went full force back into social media, and then moved back here as soon as I could get my lease up, you know?
Yeah. 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 Yep. Yeah. Even now, like, yeah, like I said, because I was living there from 2014 to 2020. Like, even like say like Mission District. Like when I first moved there, it
Yeah,
was
so
just
we
like,
were there at the same time. We moved back the same
yeah,
time pretty much. Like,
yeah, yeah. So it's I fully know what you're talking about as far as like when I first moved there. I would take the BART and go to like Dolores Park and stuff and like walk through, that area. I'm like, oh shit, this is pretty solid. But then like I think I went back like maybe 3, 4 years ago, and like yeah, I just like went to Dolores Park. I was like, oh shit, it's pretty fucking different, dude. It's crazy.
no, no, it's really different. I went up last week to help my friend move, and was there for like a day and a half, and my friend Becca and I like stopped by Dolores just to hang out for like an hour because there was like our favorite thing to do, and she was like, it's so weird, like when I was living up here, this whole section of the park like wasn't even done. It was just like a muddy hill,
Yeah,
and now they've like redone it and it looks really nice. But which there's certain parts of the city that like they've put love into, and other parts that they've like severely neglected,
yep,
and I think
yep,
every time I go back there, though, I'm like, I'm glad I left because
yeah,
I like the culture and the vibe down here more,
yep,
and um, it just feels more at home.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
when I
yeah.
left San Francisco, I literally went to Oahu for like a month, and
Oh shit,
I had to like clear my head
reset.
and my heart and like reset. I had like hit burnout, and it was like the only place that I felt like could really like I needed to like absorb the mana from like from the islands. I was
No,
like, I
yeah.
need like a heavy reset right now. And
It,
yeah.
it's it's true though, cause yeah, I was feeling super homesick, freaking like from like January to like July, and then like I had trips planned, but things happened. I had to cancel or reschedule. Finally, I was like, dude, I gotta go back, cause like yeah, it is something about being back in the islands is like super rejuvenating as far as like you
It's
like you said, your
healing.
mana, your spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was very healing, and
But
just the yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, and then as far as like traveling and stuff, so is that like your main thing as far as like people hiring you to go travel
Yeah,
or like you know what
so
I'm
I,
saying?
I usually will plan trips and then reach out to like brands and businesses and be like, hey, I'm going here.
Yeah,
Like instead of dispatching your marketing team, you can send me product and pay me to take shot like content for you.
nice.
And that's essentially what I do full time. I was on such a long trip over the summer that I've sort of like pulled back a lot I was feeling very like creatively drained
Mm.
and needed to just like embrace summer and didn't want to do anything other than like be at the beach every day.
Just cruise.
Um,
Yep.
the last like 3 weeks have been depressing though. I don't think I've been like it's definitely like fall
Yeah.
and I'm in denial about it, but at the same time like I kind of don't mind it. But yeah, that's like my full-time job. I don't have any my next trip I do have planned is Seoul, South
Oh,
Korea,
sick.
and that's in like 3 weeks.
Nice.
So I
Hell
took
yeah.
a little, how many months was that? I took like a like 3.5 month break and
Oh,
then
yeah.
gonna go
That's solid.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I am actually working on like a project and it's another reason why I pulled back on traveling. I think I like want to pivot out of like doing content creation for a living and I want to like, be more um present in my travels rather than having to
Mm.
allocate time towards taking content for other brands.
Yep. Yep.
Which I think I do have a pretty good balance of that, but I think I just like don't want it to be I don't want to be like reliant on having to work and travel at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had that realization when I went on this last trip because I did like a yoga teacher training
Yep. Yep.
and it was very like deep spiritual growth and I feel like I shed like a couple of versions of myself while I was out there and then realized that like I was feeling very like creatively burnt out and
Mm.
as an artist like wasn't um really honoring myself
Yeah.
and it was mainly just like I just hate how our society's like we have to do something to make money or like you have to do something to be contributing to society. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's my fiscal duty to travel around the world though, I guess, because I'm spending money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep. Yep.
capitalism.
Yep. Yep.
um,
No, yeah, it's I think because when we were talking stories at Mai Tai Fest, we kind of tapped into that too. Like you told me you're getting ready for your trip, all this other stuff, and I kind of asked you like, oh yeah, how's like traveling and doing content, and you're like, it's cool, but it's like sometimes I just want to just cruise. You know what I mean? Like I just want to
yeah,
just
I
be.
just
You know what I
want
mean?
to like hang
Yep.
out, like
Yep.
for sure. And it's like the way that I travel is I really like to meet local friends and
Mhm.
immerse myself. And I'm not really like super big on like trying to go stay in like a trendy hotel or like do like the super touristy things. And it's like there's a couple things I'll like check off like like that, but then most of the time I'm trying to like talk to the Uber driver and be like, where do you
Yeah.
go out?
Yeah.
Like, where
Yeah.
should I go?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
that kind of stuff, or, I don't know. So I've just been working on another thing. It's actually called Kalo Organics. It's gonna be a yoga wear and like basics
Oh,
clothing line,
sick.
and everything's made out of bamboo cotton, and I'm doing like natural dyeing using plants and stuff, but it definitely drew inspo from the Lo'i,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
from that which provides for us the Aina. And I wanted to create something that was like sustainable and timeless rather than like trendy and kind of just like slow fashion and
Mm.
get back to like quality um and yeah, so that's what I've been working on, and I'm excited. I'm still like a couple months out from launching it, but I've been working on it for like 10
Oh,
months now.
sick. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Nice. No,
I
that.
like pulled the trigger back in like January, and then like it's been like a slow going process because it is like a sustainable business. I'm trying not to like cut corners to like make it faster
Yep.
or like
Yep.
um yeah. So that's what I'm working on so
Hell yeah.
far. I think it'll be a nice reprieve from like doing content for other people and being able to like tap back into like my creative side
Yep.
and create something that like aligns with me.
Yeah. Plus, you went on your your yoga teaching retreat and stuff. So like you're living the life. You know what I'm saying? You're not just like, oh, I think I can make a lot of money doing this. But no, you like you went to the Lo'i, like you're connected. You did your yoga training. You actually traveled to India. But now you're like, okay, let's all put it together. And now you have your social media content experience. So now everything can feed everything, but now you feel more aligned. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I think like as like a creator, you know, and having built like a big following and then working with brands that send you like a bunch of things and you inadvertently get sucked into like the just like hyper consumerism
mm,
and you know just like accumulating a lot of things and like pushing a lot of things on people like using your influence to get people to just like buy into
yeah,
you know, clothing or shoes or like an experience really. It's like I work with businesses sometimes to promote like experiences, but most of the things I do post are like experiences that like I discovered on my own that like aren't paid collaborations and stuff, and I feel
yeah,
like um, I I like being able to do that where I'm just like using my voice to like help businesses rather than like I have to do this for like to like make money and like to help. I don't know.
no, dude.
Does that make sense?
No,
Like,
no. You know what? Because that fully aligns with because I, my positive high system, which is my health, fitness, and wellness coaching. I was doing it from what like 2014, well, officially 2016 to like 2020, 2021 ish. No, 2022. So basically, what happened was COVID hit. Yeah. So and then all the gyms shut down and stuff. So I tried to go online, but then I moved to Sacramento. Have a house, freaking mortgage, bills, all this other stuff. So instead of trying to attain or attract clients in exchange, saying I have knowledge and experience to help you nourish your health, fitness, and wellness, I was trying to get clients for money. You know what I'm saying? So it was more of like I felt like I was just taking as opposed to exchange. You know what I'm saying? So exchange
yes.
my experience and for your so currency. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
have your financial currency.
that's how I
Yep.
started feeling, especially with working with brands because
Yep.
you know like even if it's a good paycheck or something and it's
Yep.
fun to take content, then all of a sudden I have like 7 shoes.
Yep.
And I'm doing that once a month and I'm getting like a bunch of shoes that I don't need.
Yep.
And it makes me feel super wasteful, you know, like I can sell them or like give them away to friends or whatever, but like it just feels like playing into this like life that I've worked hard to get away from in my personal life in my personal space for, you know, years now. Probably the last like 3 or 4 years I've really tried to tap back into like a more natural symbiotic
Yep.
life and like not being super excessive in my consumerism and um yeah, I even get guilty in terms of like traveling sometimes
Yeah.
because I'm like all these emissions I'm causing
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a flight
Yeah.
type thing. I don't know. So that's why like I wanted to create a business that like would make a more positive impact
Yeah.
and hopefully encourage other people or inspire other people to make more conscious decisions.
Yep, yep. I call it the it's like the ripple effect. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're just like throwing your positive stone, whether it be a big ass boulder or like a little pebble, you know what I'm saying? Throw it in like the universe or the world, and then eventually it's gonna spread, and then you never know who's gonna touch. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I fully feel you on that as far as like you feeling like, oh shoot, like your spirit just wasn't into it anymore. You felt like you're doing it for like, I guess not reasons of alignment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, that's why I got into kava too. I mean, I've been drinking kava for a minute. I'm pointing because I got my big ass bowl right here. But yeah, like I've been drinking it. It wasn't part of my culture. My family didn't really drink it or anything like that. I've heard of it, but I just
Mine
started
doesn't
drinking it.
either, and every time I like try to get them on it, like my cousins will entertain me
Yeah.
like a few times a year, but then like it's never been like a prominent thing in our family, and like I'm hyper aware that I'm saying and like because someone commented.
Yeah. Quit. Oh.
But yeah, go ahead.
Oh shoot! No, yeah, yeah, no worries. I got the semi ADHD too, so I'm kind of reading but also talking same time. But yeah. So when I felt that like I guess misalignment with what I was doing with my positive high system, I was like, oh shoot, I gotta freaking shift because I was being burnt out, and I wasn't, attaining clients because I was on the wrong. I guess I was doing it for the wrong reasons for myself. So I was like, I applied to like other marketing jobs, and I guess my resume didn't look good because I was a business owner for like 6 7 years, and then I finally hit up Koakava, like, hey, are you guys looking for any like sales and marketing people? And they're like, oh, we're looking for a social media person. I'm all like, oh shoot, I can help you with that. So there, I started doing part time, and then I launched Stay Rooted Kava. So now it's basically Stay Rooted Kava and Cold Kava is my supplier. So I help them with their marketing and all this good stuff. That's why you saw me at Long Beach, Mai Tai
Yeah.
Fest. Yeah, so I was just there providing kava for the artists, but also just kind of just giving
I
away
took
kava.
some of that to the beach like this summer.
Oh yeah,
The instant kava that you gave
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
How was it? How was it?
It was good. It was good. I like it a lot and it's kind of strong, so
Yeah.
I like it strong, but
Oh hell yeah, and then for my I'll give you a recipe. So I just use so if say for example friends, family members, like haven't tried traditional, but after a while it's like just like it's an acquired taste. But I go to Costco and then I get the organic
the
guava
guava
nectar.
nectar.
Yeah, and then you just go like and you start off half. It's like boba. I tell people it's like you can go half half, or if you want stronger kava or and just a splash of flavor, you go like 60% kava, 40% nectar. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of play with it. Yeah,
I'll
but
definitely try that. I've only done it with like coconut water
that shit's fucking
before. I was
good
like,
too. Yep,
yeah, I think it's just
yep,
like smoother.
yep, yep,
But I also like it like really cold too. I don't know
yep,
if you drink it
yep.
warm
Oh
or
no,
you
yeah,
drink it like room
I
temperature.
add ice, dude, to my bowls. So yeah, whenever I mix and then I just add ice. Cause yeah, I don't know if it's like placebo effect, but they say like if it's room temperature or like a little warmer, like it's stronger. But I don't know. I just it's not as tasty. Straight up, dude.
I
Yep. But
It's like I don't mind the taste until we're like two bowls in, and then
yep,
all of a sudden I'm like, whoa,
yep.
it's really catching up to me now.
No, yeah, that's how. Yeah, I do like like you said, like 3 4 shells, and after that, I was like, all right, dude, I need some flavor. But yeah, so what I do is
That's why you have like the Li Mui like candies like
yep,
on the side
yep,
as like a
yep.
palate cleanser.
Oh shit, that'd be dope, dude. Like freaking what's that company that's on the come up? Noms? Have you had Noms before?
I've had noms;
From
those are bomb.
yeah, I should hit him up and do a
It
collab or
is
something,
crazy
dude.
to me. Like I was wondering when someone was gonna do something like higher production than because I have a lot of friends that like their families would randomly do like batches of
Yeah,
candy and sell them, and I would buy a bunch of bags, but just like throughout the year. But then like I was wondering when someone was gonna like
yeah,
just make a business out of it, like a legit
yeah.
like company. So yeah, I see them everywhere now.
Yeah, they're blowing up. Yeah, because you get the local Lihimui candy stuff, but yeah, like they're like going as far as like diving into social media and like sponsoring other influencers and stuff. So,
And a
but
lot of stores carry them.
yeah,
Like I see them in a lot of stores. So
yeah, but yeah, it's as far as your project and stuff. I know we kind of talked a lot about it. Um, are you is it mainly going to be like yoga apparel or like a lifestyle?
to begin with, I think it's like yoga and like basics apparel and am doing like a small like 6 piece collection right now that's kind of like mix and matchable and it's for women so far.
Mhm.
I do have like plans to do a collection for
Yeah,
for
yeah,
men's.
yeah,
And it's just like a slow, like this process has been really slow going. So I'm just learning from it and figuring out how I can speed it up a little
yeah,
bit so I can branch out. But for now, it's just that. And I think I just want to make like flattering, like timeless pieces. Like I have a lot of clothes. When I shop now, I do try to like pick things that are like will hold. I know I will hold on to for
yeah,
years and that are like quality. It's hard to find cute clothing that is sustainable,
yeah.
that's made out of like plant fibers and it's not just like a box hemp shirt or something. I do want to make some like linen tunic shirts for men and stuff. I think that would be really cool. And I have some friends that I've talked to about it that are like, oh, you should make this and make that for
Yeah.
guys. So especially in Hawaii, I'm like surprised that there's like the lack of more plant
Mm.
fashion
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's such a hot and humid climate and people are out here wearing just like polyester, like unbreathable
Yeah, that
plastic
shit gets
on their
hot, dude.
skin,
Yep.
and it doesn't last very long, especially in like weather like that because it's not made for that.
Yep.
Like everyone out there should be wearing like hemp and like wood fiber and bamboo fiber and cotton linen, you know.
It's just
So
breathable.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to
It
make
just
that happen.
yeah. It's just breathable. Yeah. Yeah. That no. That's solid. Yeah. As far as yeah, and then also a thought I had when you're like, oh yeah, it's a slower process. It's like, yeah, it's we also live in a like an instant gratification world sometimes. You know, yeah, I get caught up in it. You know what I mean? But it's like I always try to go back to nature as far as like, hey, this is a seed you're planting in your soil. It's like let's nourish it and make sure it actually grows properly. You know what I mean?
I've been nurturing
Yep.
it like all year long, and it's going to be worth it. I also like I hired a local artist in Oahu to help me with the logo. So I'm excited about that, and I get to like showcase another like artist that is, you know,
Yeah.
Kanaka,
Yeah.
and can is where another part of like where I drew inspiration from. So I'm
Nice.
really excited. I can't wait to. I'll definitely have to send it to you when it gets off the ground. But I'm like we're in the process of like designing the brand logo and finalizing samples and stuff.
Nice.
It's just yeah, it's just
Hell yeah.
it
No.
is a process because I'm also like doing it. I'm manufacturing it out in Bali, and it's dependent on their like monsoon
Oh
season too,
shit. Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like plant dyeing. They do it outside, and yeah, I think it would be really cool to like showcase once I get to the point where I can go out there and then like, you know, make content showcasing the process and showing people like where, you know, from like Ina to on your back, like the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah. Yeah.
process of like where your clothes come
Yep.
from and why you should be intentional about it because
Yep.
it's all, you know, circular.
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah, from Ina to body, dude. That's dope. Hell
yeah,
yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that's actually that gave me a thought too. I was talking to Brett Osea from Buluvo Experience. So he did some Holo Holo festivals with us with the Kava Hut. So basically, it was like, hey, we should go to Fiji and like go to farms, and like go to kava farms and like show like especially like so for the kava like our kava comes straight from the islands, obviously, so Tonga, Fiji, Vanuatu, like go to the farm in Fiji and like record content or like show people like, hey, this is where your kava comes from. It's not just like it's a process because the kava to cultivate it's 5 to 7 years. Like that's when the root is ready to get dried, pounded, and then you got to pack it and ship it to, the continent U.S. So and then bag and then sell it. So it's not just like, you're not just getting it off anywhere. It's like farm,
It's
freaking production. You know
crazy
what I mean?
too when you see videos of like on YouTube of like people in like Micronesia.
Yeah.
They're like literally just like doing it all from scratch
Yep.
just to enjoy like one bowl, and you're like, this is crazy. And
Yep.
we're so used to even I think that's the really important thing um that Kumano is doing in terms of like educating people about food sovereignty,
Mhm.
because it's, you know, like showing people to like slow down, and in terms of like, you know, people advocating for land back in
Yeah.
Hawaii and feeling like wanting to like reclaim that it just like takes so much more than showing up like in a political stance in terms of reclaiming that life,
Yeah.
and the everything that comes with it means like you'd have to let go of the instant gratification and the consumerism, because you have to go back to the food
Yeah.
sovereignty and, you know, just like material items sovereignty. Like relying on other people in the community to trade with, and everyone, like encouraging each other's niche artisanal talents,
Yeah.
and and leaning on each other, and being able to be in a place where you can provide for each other, and you know create an ecosystem on island where we aren't dependent on the outside
Yep.
world for that instant gratification. I
Yep.
think that's
100%,
I
dude.
think that's something that is like really hard for people to wrap their head around, because it's easy to be angry and have that like generational trauma,
Yeah.
and be like, we want our land back and this and that. But then, like, if actually like the United States left, it would be a really difficult adjustment
Yeah.
for 95% of the people there.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, because it's just like you're so used to living a certain way, you know what I'm saying? And like there's only a small community of like I was talking to brother Kaika, Kaika Loha, his family's kalo and taro farmers for generations, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's yeah, and like I went UH, took Hawaiian language, Hawaiian studies and stuff, and like yeah, I got to work the lo'i and everything. It was like damn, dude, like it's fulfilling, but it's like I only did it for like a weekend. Like this is a continuous, like this has to be life, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
for life,
yep.
like it's like that's your job,
Yep.
and that's
Yep.
what you provide for the community,
Yep.
and you have to dedicate your time to that, and then also inspire other people to like take on that role, because you're not going to be there forever too.
No,
So
100%.
I think that, yeah,
It's pretty deep, dude. Like there's like I think
it's
we can
it's
go
a
through
long
like
road back. It's a long road
yeah.
back, and I think people, especially in our generation, are really trying to like figure out how to get
Yep.
back, but in like a reasonable
Yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah.
because
Yep.
we obviously can't go back to where we were 300 years ago
Yep.
ever,
Yep.
but we can reclaim a lot of those practices that will help preserve the Aina,
Yep.
for a lot longer, so that we don't just like destroy it.
Yeah.
It's
I
the path
dude.
that we're on now is definitely destruction,
Oh
but
yeah,
I
hundred
think,
percent. I just had to stop because like I've been I did an experiment this year. I'm gonna dial it even more deeper next year, 2025. But I've been trying to because work for myself, small business owner and everything. I've been trying to do everything according to like the moon cycle, but also like seasons. You know what I'm saying? So it's like new moon is like all right. Let me plant my intention. Let me plan everything, get everything ready, and then slowly ramp it up. And then once 3-4 days before the full moon, when high energy, it's like, all right, let me just let it go. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Let things just go,
I
and then
love
after
that.
that,
I like my Kumu was talking about that with us last summer, where he was like, I was talking to him about my garden. He was like, you should plant your seeds on the full
yeah,
moon, like our ancestors did, because like that they moved with the moon
yeah.
cycles. And I had never thought of that, and I did. I planted like some cucumber melons, and it was like the biggest harvest I've ever
Oh,
had.
sick.
I had like sprouted a seedling, and I went out and like set my intentions under the full moon and like planted it, and I had like 80 cucumber melons. I had so many that I was like giving them away to my neighbors,
Hell
giving
yeah.
them like to my family. I was like, I actually do have a neighbor who I like trade produce with, and I love that. I don't know even how I found him. We like met at the park, at the dog park or something,
Yeah.
but um, I wish that like more people in California could, like, I could create like a bigger community here where, we trade, and I don't know.
No, dude, that's what I do with like my freaking whenever I want cannabis or like some psilocybin. I have friends who grow. I'm like, hey, you need some kava? You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
just trade kava for freaking flour or like kava for mushies. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But yeah, it's doable. You know what I'm saying? It just starts with one person, another person you connect with. But yeah, dude, we're actually this is crazy. We're already 55 minutes into our conversation. I had to go get a baby girl, But we gotta do another talk story because we can dive even deeper into this moon cycle and like so
Yeah, we'll have
yeah
to
so
table that for the next
hell yeah
conversation.
yeah. So basically yeah so kind of closing the loop on this yeah so now I want to do like for example spring is when I spring and summer is my most action, and then once fall and winter comes that's when I kind of taper off with actually doing work, like still put in effort but don't go like super hard as far as like business or like networking and all this other stuff, just kind of
Yeah,
ease
you
into.
need like a season
Yep,
of rest as well.
yep.
I think that's really important. That's where I'm at right
Nice.
now. I think.
Yeah, yeah. You took your 3 months, dude. You know what I'm saying? Now it's kind of slowly getting into.
Yeah, and I've
Um.
actually I started getting antsy to like do some work. So
Yep.
like
Yep. Yep.
but
Yep.
I really needed that like season of rest, and I'm like fortunate that I've like designed my life and my livelihood in a way that I could take
Yep.
that. I wish that it was like easier for more people.
Yeah.
I wish that like our society encouraged it rather than just like being a workhorse.
Yeah,
But
dude. Yeah. It's
we'll get back there somehow.
slowly but
But
slowly but surely, dude. For reals. Yeah, I see it. I feel it. But before we leave, I like to ask like two powerful questions based on our conversation and everything like that. But number one is, and then whatever you want to I guess promote or share what you got going on with you. But number one, as far as yourself, reconnecting to your Filipino culture and stuff. For someone that wants to reconnect, based on your experience, what have you been doing, or like how can you encourage someone to just take that first step?
I think first and foremost, you need to get over the imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, 80% or 5% or 10%, whatever. You're enough of what you are. And it's not like just genealogy and blood, but it's also, your values and your ancestors' experiences and your current experiences and how you pay it forward, and you take those lessons and you pay it forward and you perpetuate it. So that's something Mike Kumu always reminds us too, is that we're Hawaiian enough, even if like by blood we're not. It's the fact that we're dedicating energy and a large portion of our lives to perpetuate the traditions and the culture, and sort of like pay it forward for, like I said before, like for us being able to go there and put roots down and
Yeah.
embrace the culture and being embraced as well. It's this is how we pay it forward, right? This is our kuleana. And I would just say that like lean in hard, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if there's like, because I know Kanaka that like are like the least Hawaiian people, least Hawaiian,
Yeah.
and like they have the least amount of aloha, and other people out here that are like 0% Hawaiian, and like they embody it more because they're willing to like do that work. You know what I mean?
Mm, nice.
So I think get over the imposter syndrome and find things that like inspire you and motivate you so that you can like educate other people with it, I
Yep.
guess. That's how I've done it.
Nice.
And it's exciting for me.
Oh yeah, love it. Yeah, and then last but not least, I know we talked about it a big chunk, but any projects or anything that you want to either tease or plant the seed on, or to let us know about?
Just my sustainable clothing line. It's called Kalo Organics. I started an Instagram for it, but I haven't posted anything on it yet. But look out for that. We can next time. Hopefully, we have another discussion. I can show you that
Yeah.
in depth. But that's pretty much it. I'm excited to see what you do. I feel like you're at like every festival, so
Yep.
which which I'm usually doing too. So
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
sure
connect,
I'll
dude.
see you
Oh
soon.
yes. Yep. And then I'll DM you, but I got Kava on deck for you, dude. Yeah. So if you guys need Kava too, call Kava. It's the one
Okay,
right here.
yeah,
But
for sure. Thank you.
all right,
Thanks
sis.
for inviting
1 o'clock. I gotta go jump on and take over baby duties. But everybody, thank you guys for jumping on. Much mahalo. We're gonna do another one once everything gets set for your venture. But also, thank you guys for jumping on. I will be posting this on YouTube. So if you guys caught the later half of the conversation, stay with the kava on YouTube.
me.
But all
Okay.
right, sis. I'm gonna text
Sesh.
you. Thank you, and I'll see you soon at a music festival someplace. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Cheers.